Hello guys, welcome to another video. Today, chasing perch, and I'm going to be rambling while I chase some perch, talk about some stuff, and yeah, we'll see if we can't get some nice ones. Alright, so this is like my new addiction lately, is fishing for perch, so really been enjoying it. It is not always easy, which I really like. They can be found pretty much anywhere, and every day it seems to change. And this isn't just one system, this is a lot of different systems. You're not going to see all the systems because I want to keep some of them nice and secret. But they are one of the most fun and frustrating species I think I've fished for. They're so easy to find on the sounder, really positive. But just because you find them on the sounder doesn't mean you're going to get them to eat. They can be right on the bottom, they can be right up the top, they can be mid-water. And some days they want little baits, some days they want big baits, some days they want in between, some days they want twitched hard bodies. Sometimes they want the slowest worked plastic, it's actually painful, and then you get a bite. And you've got to try and strike like a ninja, and then you still miss them. Some days you'll find that your hookups are all nicely in the mouth. Sometimes they're down deep when they're feeding real well. Sometimes even, if we hit a rock, they only just tap at it, and most of your hookups are on the outside of the mouth, and that's when I struggle to hook them all the time. They also eat whatever lures. I'm struggling to find lures they don't really want to eat. I think it just depends on the day. They can be found right up in the freshwater. They're also found, well, their larvae I think has been found out in the ocean in like 50 metres of water. Pretty much, it's especially if you're in the southern part of Australia on the east coast, find me a system that doesn't have perch in it at some point. So when people ask for like, oh, where do you catch perch? Go exploring. They are everywhere. You might not catch them, but that's half the fun. Yeah, love how easy they are to hold. They fight pretty well. They're different like every fish though. Like each fish will fight differently. But yeah, really cool species. Alright, we'll have a little cast again. I'm going to whoop out the big stuff this time. The battery on this, even though I charged it, has just decided to really die. Typical. Anyway, we'll put another battery in it. But the perch, as I was saying, great versatility for fishing. They get found, they get caught off surf beaches and stuff on bait. They're very rare to catch on bait though. They're more of a lure target species or live bait. They also can grow huge. So they've been electrofished to over 70 centimetres. That's a big fish. Big fish. You can catch them all the way down to like under 20, obviously. But the fact they get that big is insane. I'm lucky enough to have cracked a 50 to the tip. If I catch one, I'm going to go through how you measure a fish too, because a lot of people don't seem to know how to measure a fish, which is strange. But anyway, that's just one of my little pet hate things of when people claim things. But anyway, but you also can't, this is going to be a bit of a rant, isn't it? I don't really like how people claim they've caught certain target things without even properly measuring, like saying, oh yeah, it was definitely 50. I didn't measure it, but it was definitely 50. Or it was definitely a metre flathead. Have you caught one that's over 90 something? How big they look and how big it actually needs to be a metre. Like, unless you've actually caught one and put it on a brag mat, you can't you just don't see why people claim those sort of things. Same with a 50 centimetre perch, but you know, kind of aiming higher than that anyway, but it's a nice little thing to tick off. But yes, there's heaps of places you can. I can't bloody see it at the moment, it's the sun. But yeah, it's pretty good. Now you don't need to find spots a bit. The old fishing communities are rather lazy these days. Just ask for spots, or you know, rather than being able to just go on Google Maps and explore, which is half the fun of fishing. I don't understand people that just, they want to put in the most least amount of effort possible and just ask for spots, or like, you know, find out off people that have posted. Anyway, some people don't mind doing that stuff, and that's okay. That's what they want to do. You're not really learning how to find fish and not really fishing. Yes, I know some people are time poor, but that's what makes it just better. Get a window on the weekend, go exploring. That's not just for perch, that's for just every species. It'd be nice if we could get one so I can show you how to measure a fish. I was thinking the other day, when is a company going to come out with a fishing drone? Not a like surf fishing drone to throw baits. Fishing drone that talks to your sounder, because with all the footage these days of, you know, going and finding the fish, there's heaps of people that do it. I think I was watching Brooksy just the other night. He was doing some sick ones where he's looking at it on his satellite imaging to know where it is. But it'd be so good if you could actually get your drone to just mark, all right, it's here, GPS mark, talks to your sounder, oh wow, bang, puts it in there. Now I don't know if it's too far away to be able to do that. Can it save it once it's in range, puts it in for you? That might be a thing. It'd also be cool if, well, it remembers where it takes off GPS wise. It'd be cool if it could somehow know where your boat was at all times, so that it could come back and land there. It might be just a thing of getting out of range or something like that. Just be cool if they made one that was more designed for finding fish, because it seems like it is quite the technology for flats fishing. And you can just save your GPS marks, bang, I know where that fish is. Maybe you want to mark where a bit of structure is that you can find on your drone. You go, yep. Maybe you can see a channel that goes through that normally your sounder doesn't show. And you can put marks all along it and go, yep, I need to follow these marks up. Something that might be cool and useful. I'm not really getting much action here. A lot of the big social influencers down in Victoria are just the people that, you know, take a picture of a whole bait board and stuff. It's interesting every time. Some people out there, I don't understand how they can possibly eat that much fish. Like, I reckon, was that a donk? If it was a little donk. Might not have been. But anyway. But also, makes me laugh when you get those bait board photos and we've got to put our hat on, we've got to sit our hooks right in front of the filleting table, you know, all that effort. Yeah, I'm all for promoting stuff, but it just seems a little odd. Maybe it was a donk. Perfect, we can show you. We were doing this the other day. They've been a bit deep for me lately. He's a little fella. That's one of the smallest I've caught lately. There, he run out of battery, so I'll try and show you this quickly. Take the lure out. Essential for measuring. we get our... I don't know if you're going to be able to see this good. Right, I'm going to try hold and do this one-handed, which isn't ideal. Right. Put him on. Now that is not measured because the mouth needs to be closed. Because every fish, if you measure it with the mouth closed, if you measure it with the mouth open, each time you measure a fish, the mouth could be open a different amount. Comprende? And then we look at where the tail bit goes. Sometimes with perch, the bottom tail, look, is bigger. So sometimes you'll see I posted like this. It's like, oh, it only just touched 50, but actually the bottom tail is bigger. And there you go. Now, normally, I do it a bit like that. It's up to you. That part, that's pretty much it. If you have a brag mat or something, it bumps and it folds. The longer it gets and the longer you've had it, it can actually shrink over time. He's not liking that I'm using him as a sample, but I've compared to, not sponsored or anything, but I wanted a nice longer ruler that went to about 60, so that way we can try get some big fish. Because a lot of the little plastic rulers only go to like 30 something, which you beat quite often. Now he's tiny. We'll see if we can get some more. But yes, the brag mats, they bump up over stuff. They also are just not as accurate. I've had it laying against this, and my dial one that I've had for a while. Now, it went at the start, they're probably fine, but once you've been using it a while, they do slightly shrink or expand. So I want to check because your measurements aren't always that accurate. Now, some people don't care about that, that's fine. I like to get my PBs on point, you know, because it's my personal best. I'm trying to beat, otherwise I'm trying to beat something that doesn't exist. Alright, seems like they're deep. We can do that a bit later. It might hurt me, but I'm going to, while it's still slightly not full bright and stuff, I'm going to hit the edges with Silent Killer and hopefully pull a big one. Even if not a big one, just like a decent one, because I'd trade like 5 perch for one on the glide bait, because they normally hit it real hard for me. So give that a whirl, see how we go. Well, I thought I felt that dunk. One on the slidey as I've turned on the other camera. Here there goes. Nice. I was turned on the camera to say I wasn't trying to be negative. I feel like I've been a bit negative in this video. He's come out in a bad mood. I don't know why. Happy days. Decent one on the slidey. God, they whack it good. Yeah, boy. Didn't take long. We better keep continuing. Solid. I'll see what he is and then let him on his way. Beautiful 42 centimetre perch on the Silent Killer. Bait caster style. Get him on his way. Good start. See if we can't get some more up on the edge. Even though most seem to be a bit deeper, but hopefully there are big dogs like that fella looking for a meal and not a snack. Ba, 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 ba. Alright, we'll continue down. Go with the flow. Keeping an eye on where we're finding them deep for later when we try to fish deeper. Alright, we have had a good little session there with the Silent Killer. We are not seeing many fish up on the edge, which is a bit annoying. We did manage to get that one early on though, so if we can't get them deep on other stuff, we'll go back to that and just grind them out. And there's got to be the odd couple that are getting around, but definitely seemed like majority of the fish are deep. So we'll cruise on up and find where they are. We'll throw plastics and things at them, hopefully a bit bigger plastics and stuff. We'll see what we can get them on. Hopefully we can dong a few nice ones. I'm going to just miss one on the silent killer. It has been very quiet. I tried to get a couple patches out deep, but I haven't actually seen as many out deep as when I came down. So interesting. We've just found a bit more of a patch now, so I've just missed a dunk. So hopefully we can crack into a few of these fellas. I'll still persist with this for a little bit longer, but let's see, we might have to go to something a bit more small and deeper. It's always good signs to get a whack on that. Not that it was a huge whack, it was a little take. I'm trying to eat it. With that, I'll try to sink it. That was a whack. Whack after I sunk it down. Got him. Took our time to get one. Jiggling that for ages. Eventually annoyed one. The old deep tactics. Stingers on a vibe. It's probably why he'd have a crack at me lure, but he wouldn't be able to gob it real well. Might even be close to 40, but he's not too bad. I'm gone. He's high 30s, to be honest. Alright, so we know that that's going to work. Worst case scenario. I shouldn't say worst case scenario, it's not the worst way of fishing, but it is a little slow. But you do get good hookups, so keep that for later. Put a 1/16 jig head on. Let's see if we can't crack a few on that in the deep, since they're being deepy boys today. And then I might even try, I've got a slightly bigger plastic. Might be alright to wind past where I was. Well, that didn't take long, did it, on the standard plastic? It's always good. Stop flaring your gills, brother. Didn't take long. There he is. He's probably around the same size. Rocking this weedlessy style little bait junkie. That was good timing. Just found a patch, so I turned the camera on. Really got to find them to get them to eat. There's not bulks of them. This one's on. The plastic's definitely seeming to work the best. But at least we found, that's probably the biggest school we've found so far. dude. Just chucked around other lures for ages. Nothing on the plastic, so